Welcome back to the Mustache Multiverse, your one stop shop for everything movies, superheroes, and more. Once again, I'm Sam,
And I'm Alex.
and we are your friendly neighborhood hosts through this multiverse. So let's dive back in to our topic for the month. Welcome back to Spider Month.
Welcome back. We are officially, as of recording this, 24 days away from brand new day. The hype
So
keeps
excited.
building. We might get a new trailer tomorrow. I don't know. Streets are saying. We'll see. You'll know if you're watching this, if we got the new trailer or not. But today is all about maybe the forgotten Spider-Man, the one in the middle. Everyone always talks about how great Tobey's Spider-Man was, especially since Spider-Man 2 is considered one of the best superhero movies of all time. And obviously Tom Holland is current day. But we are talking about the amazing Spider-Man today with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
And how amazing it was. I couldn't agree more. It's that one that we don't talk about a lot, right? We talk a lot about Tobey setting the foundation and everything that Tom's done to bring us into the future. But what Andrew Garfield did was nothing short of magic with these amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like we were kids when the Spider-Man movies came out with Tobey Maguire, but then when the Amazing Spider-Man came out, we were high school. We were like basically Peter Parker aged. So I feel like I connected more with Peter Parker in this movie than I did with the early 2000s Peter Parker and Spider-Man movies.
I agree with you. I did connect more because I feel like in that first movie, again, I feel like we talked about it, I was more of the Flash character. In these movies, definitely more of a Peter for me.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And the Flash actually kind of redeemable in this movie. I'll say that
Sure.
much.
Right?
He's not as bad
I mean,
as the old Flash.
he goes through a character arc, which I love.
Love side characters getting character arcs. See how good these movies were?
Everybody gets their time to shine.
All right, so let's break it down. So if you haven't seen it or if it's been a little while, little refresher. So the film starts with Peter being classic Peter Parker, just kind of a nerdy outcast. But in this one, he has a skateboard, which I know you love.
Well, first off, the only redeemable factor or the best factor of Spider-Man 3 you can see the through line now, right? They took the best parts, which were the Spider-Man parts and the skateboard parts, plugged them straight into the Amazing Spider-Man.
That's the only thing that they kept. Crazy. I don't know how they did it, but here we go.
And look at the success we've.
So regular, everyday nerd at school, right? Goes to Oscorp after discovering that Dr. Connors works there and that Dr. Connors had a connection with his dad and steals some guy's identity. That's not talked about enough. He just robs this kid of an internship.
Let's go have a spin-off movie of that kid and what became of his life and have him come back as a villain. Would love that.
He probably has a record since he got, thrown out for trespassing. So.
Never gets to live out his dreams. It was a really sad tale. No one talks about the Spider-Man shortcomings like that.
And honestly, it'd be really interesting because like he wouldn't be going after Spider-Man. He'd be going after Peter Parker. And like he might discover in the process that like, oh, Peter Parker's Spider-Man? Whoa.
Give him the symbiote. Let him be the next Spider.
All right, we get it off topic here.
No, keep on this one.
So he goes on this tour group with Gwen Stacy leading the group, who he knows from school, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" He's like, "I work here," and she's like, "Just stay with the group, don't get in trouble."
Please don't mess
And he
anything
immediately runs into a sketchy dude and follows him to a random room full of science experiments. Goes into another adjacent room in the science experiment room and starts touching spider webs.
That I don't love. I'm like, you couldn't pay me enough money to go into scary science spider room, but he freely goes in and just starts touching webs.
Yeah, and then the spiders start reacting, all start crawling all over him, and he just like stands there like, this is an inconvenience. I'm like, no, dude, run.
Maybe my least favorite scene in all the Spider-Man movies when all the spiders are falling on him.
Oh, no, hate. There was a lot of like close-ups of spiders in this movie that I did not appreciate.
No. More here for the Spider-Man, less about the spider.
Yeah, not the spider part. But anyway, we all know the story by now. He gets bit by the spider, goes home, develops Spider-Man abilities, Spidey senses, super strength, all that jazz. And then immediately comes back to school the next day and does something insane.
Keeping with the form of like, you got to suspend your disbelief here for a minute. Something wild is going to happen. And we all have to be like, he's just a regular kid who does something wacky.
When he breaks the backboard with his dunk from like the 3-point line, there are adults in the gym watching. Like this is like a gym class.
And let me tell you, this is where I did see myself in this movie, just kind of that nerdy kid who was able to dunk a basketball and do something cool like break a basketball. I finally saw myself in this movie, which was really cool.
Right. That was a big moment for you.
Really liked it.
We do get a bit more of a training montage in this movie of him kind of figuring out his powers. I like the subway scene a lot. How is like when he's reacting to everybody like attacking him, you see like the flashes of light, and it's not like, those are like his Spidey senses activating. So it's not like he like automatically knows Kung Fu. It's like his body's literally just reacting to his senses, basically, which I thought was really cool.
100%. Like, his reaction time just got dialed to 11, and
Yeah,
that's more of, like, what gives him the natural fighting ability. It's not like he
yeah.
just starts punching people because he knows how to from some kind of training.
Right, he's not suddenly proficient in hand-to-hand combat. There's also a scene of him learning how to, like, swing from a chain, like he swings from a web. Little montage there.
Yeah, okay, I would say, though, that is kinda my least favorite it's a very footloose moment that I don't quite understand. I mean,
What do you mean?
can we talk about him punch dancing out his anger in the shipyard? What's going
I thought you would connect with that the most.
Normally, I would love that. For me, like, swinging on these chains, he's like, "This is what spiders do." That was too much for me.
Yeah, it's a little out there. He's just being quirky, you know? Just being Spider-Man.
Another way.
Okay, so then he goes home and solves Dr. Connor's impossible math equation that he couldn't solve for like decades. So that was
Incredible.
cool, easily, if you will. Comes home from that late, and that's when we get the great power comes great responsibility speeches.
This is, without a doubt, the
Go for
best
it.
Uncle
Yep.
Ben that's ever been on TV.
Totally agree. I loved Uncle Ben and Aunt May in these movies so much more than in the Tobey Maguire movies. They felt like actual like characters who had like their own lives and personalities. And that scene where they're kind of like arguing about responsibility and Peter
Mhm.
brings up his dad, like Andrew's acting in the scene is just incredible. Such a well done scene.
Completely agree. Their chemistry is so good. It felt like they are raising a team they don't understand, and he doesn't understand
Yeah.
himself. Like, it's very real relationships. First off, Martin Sheen, incredible. Well done.
Yeah.
If you want to see that character in every single episode, go watch West Wing. He plays the president. Is just Uncle
Yeah.
Ben running the country, which, first off,
It's
exactly what I want.
I'll sign
Incredible.
up for that. Yeah.
And then this one, I find it funny, like throughout the movies, his relationship with Aunt May is the most strained. We've seen the relationship between Peter and Aunt May, I think, between all of the movies. So it's interesting to see, like, it is her really struggling raising this kid who
Yeah.
doesn't know what's going on. He's gone all the time. She doesn't understand him. So it's very real. It's not just like blanketing over things. It's, I really don't understand you. I'm trying to support you the best I can.
Yeah, absolutely. After he gives this classic speech, Peter walks out, Uncle Ben follows. Cut to Uncle Ben is totally fine the rest of the movie.
He lives on, and this is the prequel to West Wing,
Yes, he lives on,
which
goes
I
home, and
love.
becomes the president. It's great. It's fantastic. Then Peter hunts down some random guy who did nothing to his uncle, and he stops a lot of masked men just like him. And we do see a lot of like sarcastic Toby, not Toby, sarcastic Peter Parker here, which I love, like that sarcastic quippiness he brings to his like interactions with these criminals.
This was the best. Yeah, this his Spider-Man was the quippiest, which I think is like very Spider-Man. But
Yeah.
also, I love the like. Sounds dumb. I love like a smart Spider-Man, but like Toby was smart, but like Andrew is constantly like engineering things, sciencing things,
Mhm.
like trying to use his innate ability plus this new spider ability to solve
Yeah.
problems.
I did forget he does develop his own like webs in this, which like you just talked about his engineering abilities to make webs and web shooters.
Right, like, it's not like, for Toby, I feel like he had no skills in doing anything and then became Spider-Man and then can solve
Yeah.
problems. But, like, Andrew Garfield, if he wasn't Spider-Man, would still be able to solve problems, so he brings that to the table.
Right. Toby is like smart and Spider-Man. Andrew's Peter uses both of them together. Great point.
Peter 3, if you will.
So sad. Peter 3. I hope he gets a shout out of some kind in the new movie. We know Peter 2 is going to get a shout out when he gets
We
the
we
organic
totally hope.
webs. All right. So romance is now brewing between Gwen and Peter. Peter goes to dinner at the Stacy house and meets Gwen's dad, who is the chief of police or captain of the police. And in this scene, I'm just sitting there like, how do you not suspect that Peter is Spider-Man? Because the dad literally says like he's hunting down all these people that look exactly the same. They're all the same, like same MO, same person he's hunting down. And it's like, yeah, the same person who killed Peter's uncle. Is there anybody making this connection? Am I
Am
the
I
only
thinking
one
about this?
seeing this? No?
You're the
Okay, that's
captain of the
fine.
Okay, that's fine. I do
Whatever.
like that, though, because it's very, like, childish, right? In the original Spider-Man trilogy, we see him just, like, immediately take on this, "I want to protect the city," this greater responsibility. But this
Mhm.
Andrew Garfield is kind of a force of vengeance, right? I feel selfishly I want to get some vengeance for the death of my uncle. It's very childish. I'm gonna use these new powers to go beat up the person who harmed me.
Yeah, exactly. And then again, Toby's movie, he does that like immediately and just moves on from that, goes on to be Spider-Man. In this, we see Andrew take the prolonged trying to find the guy and then evolving from there. From there, after the dinner, the lizard finally emerges, Dr. Connors, injected himself with this serum, whatever you want to call it, and transformed. Dr. Connors turns himself into a lizard. The lizard is fully loose on a bridge in New York. So Peter has to come in, stop him, kind of slow him down at least. It's the first interaction they have. So he just kind of slows him down. And then Peter goes off to save a kid trapped in a car while Lizard gets away, which sets up for later in the movie when New York comes to his rescue and helps him out when he's running out of webs.
This was one of the best parts of the movie for me. Like, put on the mask and it'll give you
Oh,
powers.
so
Is what
good.
Spider-Man is, like, giving hope to
Hmm.
everyone, giving hope to that kid by just being Spider-Man. That is the epitome of what Spider-Man is, and I absolutely love that.
Yeah, absolutely. From there, Connors figures out who Spider Man is, figures out it's Peter Parker after some sloppy plan by Peter to like wait in the sewers where I feel like the lizard would be at his like strongest because he can go on the water and on land.
He needed some sick pics, dude.
Yeah. Also,
I can't
like
believe you about this.
do it on like a live stream, connect it to the cloud. I don't know. Don't leave your camera down there.
No, you're bringing too much technology into this. This guy, he doesn't know what's going on. These are old-time cameras.
Can I at least ask that you don't put your name on the camera
This
next
nerdy
time?
kid is putting his name on the camera. I'm telling you that right now.
He's putting his name on everything.
And also, can we talk about the spider lizards that are crawling that, like, the spider webs, like, hand over fist?
Yeah, what was the point of that?
I don't know.
I
It was
thought about that when I saw it. Like, were
right?
they going towards what?
Way too long of a shot. It took forever
Yeah,
to do, and it's so iconic. I don't know why.
right. Like, are they going towards the lizard or away from the lizard?
Omnipotent lizard.
Or is Dr. Connors controlling them with his mind? Does he have lizard controlling powers?
Can he speak to lizards where Spider-Man can't speak to spiders?
I don't know. Aquaman talks to fish.
Yeah, okay, well, that's not like I don't love the argument of Aquaman talks to fish. I don't feel like that has any counter.
All right. So after this, Dr. Connors comes up with his big master plan to turn the whole city into lizards.
Love.
Little bit comic booky. If you didn't think this movie was comic booky enough yet, Peter on his last legs, running out of webs, running out of energy. The crane operator, whose kid he saved early in the movie, sets up the cranes for him to swing through the town, and he stops the lizard. Bing bang boom.
It's your jerker for me. When the cranes turn to
Oh
give
man,
Spider-Man a highway to go stop him,
yeah.
tearjerker.
Because you have to remember, like at this point, like he's technically like a criminal. Like the police put like warrants out for him. Like the police captain says he was responsible for everything at the bridge before they knew who the lizard was. So like the city doesn't know if he's actually a menace or if he's actually a hero yet.
And they're told to evacuate, right? Like they're putting
Yeah.
themselves in harm's way for what all they know is a villain, except for the people who are like, he personally helped me. It's time to personally help Spider-Man.
Yeah, love it. Unfortunately, in the process, Captain Stacy dies fighting the lizard, saving Spider-Man, and that is kind of a plot point that sets up for the next movie. But I really didn't like. This is my one gripe about the end of this movie: how Peter makes a promise to him that he won't date his daughter because it'll put her in danger, and then like immediately he's like, "Ah,
Promises are
but
meant to be
that's the
broken
best part. Don't make promises you can't keep. That's the best part."
within 5 minutes.
Yeah, not great. Not a good look, Peter.
I will say though, agreed, that was a terrible part. Flip side of that though, Captain Stacy walking in and rattling off a couple of shotgun shells into the lizard.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, dude. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, that was great. That was sick. Saved the day. Sets up Peter to take down the lizard once and for all.
That I
So
love.
good. So
Pluses
good.
and minuses.
Plus and minuses. So yeah, overall, I think this is a fantastic Spider-Man movie. You touched on the performances from Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Phenomenal. I think Andrew Garfield just has like great chemistry with everybody he shares the screen with, but he definitely had great chemistry with Emma Stone in these movies. Thought their relationship was really good. The scene where Ben gives the responsibility speech still hits so hard.
And full
It holds
credit to
up.
Emma Stone as well. Like, she was phenomenal in her own right. I think so much so, like, we'll talk
Yeah.
about it throughout this, but I would have watched a full Emma Stone Gwen movie. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
she really embodied that character, and
Yeah.
she could have done whatever she wanted to with it.
Just think there's a world in the Spider-Verse where we got that movie instead of Madam Web.
Oh, like, somebody
Along with the
greenlit Madam
Spider-Man
Web
3.
and was like,
Yeah.
Spider-Gwen's a bridge too far. We can't do that.
Can't do that. No. All right. Yeah, I think kind of touched on all my highlights in there. My only low point really was him breaking his promise to the police captain immediately. You might want to gripe and say that the lizard's plan to turn the whole city into lizards is a little bit silly, but it's a comic book movie, so I'm okay with it.
Right, and, like, even though that was, like, the stakes, right? Everybody becomes lizards. I'm still crying when he's on his way to save us all from be turning into lizards, right? Like, it
Right.
still has the emotional punch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's jump in.
Dive deeper into the chasm. Welcome to Tasm 2.
Electric Booga Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Literally.
literally. Come on.
That's so good.
These lines don't write themselves, people.
It's all Sayo. All right, why don't you give us the rundown of Spider-Man 2?
Welcome to Spider-Man 2, the movie of multiple beginnings.
Sorry, back up. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's my bad.
And wasn't
that's on
it?
me. Oh, yes, it was.
Welcome back. This also starts very similar to The Dark Knight Rises with a plane crash scene. I like that.
You're not wrong. I like that. That's
All right.
good. Yeah. Make as many connections as we can. Yeah.
I'm trying to tie these all in. So we get to finally dive a little bit deeper into the whole Peter's parents. What happened? Why did they leave? What's going on?
Yeah.
Why are they not with Peter? And we see them trying to get some of their research, not really entirely sure what it is at this point, I believe, but trying to get their research off the plane into a safe location called Roosevelt.
And do you know, like, is there a comic book, like, significance to that name, or is it just Roosevelt Station? Which we find out later in the film.
Right. I think it is just Roosevelt Station, not that I'm aware of, but I will say this movie felt so much like National Treasure to me of like, can we find this missing piece to unlock the data that's missing in this historical event, which I love. Super cool. Would have loved a Nick Cage cameo as the noir spider here, but I'll still take what I got.
Yeah. I don't know if they had that in their minds 10 years ago, but who am I to judge? Maybe they did.
Maybe they did. I don't know.
I don't know. Who's to say?
So we get one beginning, right? The beginning of the end, if you will, of Spider-Man's parents. We also get the beginning of where is Spider-Man today, right? Him fighting who will be the Rhino eventually.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Paul Giamatti.
Incredible. Give Paul Giamatti some tattoos, put him in an armored car. I'll watch that all day.
Perfect.
It's just cool to see Spider-Man really at his best, right? Defending the city, not being late to something, but happy, good Spider-Man. Like we don't often see that in some of these movies.
Yeah, the movies really want to beat him down. We keep wanting to rehash his origin story. We want him to go through all these horrible things. But you're right, we do need some of the highlights, like what makes him keep getting out of bed and being Spider-Man every day.
What's prime Spider-Man look like? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our final beginning. So we've got his past, his present, and what will be his future, Max, or the Jamie Foxx here, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What will he be fighting? Who will he be fighting in this? And this, I struggled a little bit with this character just because there's like it's hard because they're so downtrodden and defeated.
Yeah, like Max is a very just like leads a sad life. He's down on his luck. Nobody at work respects him. He gets bossed around by Ryan from The Office. Like it's a tough scene for old Max.
Can Ryan from The Office play somebody nicer next time?
No, I don't think he can. He has to be that role. And then, to make matters worse, they make poor Max work late at the vat of electric eel.
When you got to work late at the vat of electric eels factory?
It's tough, dude.
It sucks.
That sucks. That's hard. We've all been there.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, for sure. And then when he calls and he's just like, can somebody turn off the power? And they're like, what do you want us to do, Max?
He's like, turn off the power.
Turn off the power to the electric eel vat would be sick.
It's my birthday, guys. Could you just do this one thing? Like, all right, we're leaving.
But the guest list is kind of closed.
It's like the scientist in Spider-Man 3 when like Flint Marko jumps into the pit that they're doing a science experiment on, and like someone says like there's some kind of anomaly in the pit, and they're like, it's probably fine.
It'll fly off. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, just like general negligence by some of the most powerful scientists in the world.
Can we work on it in New York of like these high crime rates and also the laziest scientists in the world? So Spider-Man fix all of your problems. Can we give him a break, please?
Come on, please. So yeah, we do get the setup for Max becoming Electro. I think there's a Spider-Man saves him also on his way to work that day, which is like a key part of his backstory. He's like obsessed with Spider-Man and like idolizes him, which is why it hurts even more when he turns into Electro and Spider-Man has to stop him because he's like, you're my hero, man. Why are you taking me down?
And opposed. We're best friends, right? He keeps thinking like we are best friends. We're on the same team. So anytime that Spider-Man is standing against him, it's very difficult. And to his credit, he almost pulls it off, right? When they're facing off in Times Square, Spider-Man does kind of try to help him along to be like, hey, we are friends. Let's figure this out. I remember you. We can do this together. And then everything goes wrong.
Everything goes bad.
So we've got Electro as the main bad of this movie, but here comes a side character, which they've done quite well in the past. Here comes Harry Osborn.
And let me just say, go ahead.
Portrayed by the guy from Chronicle, who we all know.
Dean DeHaan.
Is that his real name in real life?
I think so, yeah.
Is that his name in Chronicle?
Pretty sure his name's Dean DeHaan. Hold on, fact check. Real quick, Mustache Multiverse, fact check. Dean DeHaan. Dane,
play the
not
Mustache
Dean.
Multiverse Fact check song.
Insert song here. Yeah, I'm gonna insert a song for sure.
And his name is Dean DeHaan?
Dane, not Dean, you fool. Who said Dean?
Yeah, it's wild. But here comes Dean, Dane, Harry
Yep.
into the picture. We don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
any background, so not like in the original trilogy where we get to see, like, the evolution of Harry, really the Harry
Mhm.
trilogy, if you will. This is just
Yeah.
for this movie, and I think you and I have
Yeah.
talked about this. He's an odd plot device for this movie.
He really, really is, which is a bummer because I think we talked about it before. Andrew Garfield has chemistry with anybody he shares the screen with, but I think
Correct.
they had really good chemistry in the little bits of their friendship that we actually got to see before the goblin disease starts setting in and it goes bad for Harry. But like at the beginning, like they seem like good friends and they really are fun to watch together as friends.
And it's super believable, right? Like,
Yeah.
these 2 getting along well because they're kind of the outcasts, but they're both very smart, and then
Hmm.
Harry having this completely different life, he plays it so well as it's like this rich kid that you, like, want to hate, but also kind of just, like, love because he's very brutally honest about who he is, and you feel bad for him.
Yeah, right. You realize like his life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Like his dad is horrible to him and also dying, which is probably a tough combo.
And he's contracted goblin disease.
Yeah, and then he tells you on his deathbed that like this disease is genetic and you're also going to become a goblin.
Those nails where he's like, "Take this flash drive," I hated.
I did not like
I
that.
didn't
Yeah,
like that at
scary,
all.
scariest scene in the movie, I think.
"Come on over here and take this flash drive." Not cool.
Yeah, no, no, no.
Out on that one.
So Norman dies, and in while processing his grief, Oscorp tries to push Harry out of the company, but he finds out in the process that Spider-Man is somehow connected to this genetic disease, or that he needs Spider-Man's blood to cure him of
Yeah, and this
this
is where, like, the
disease.
plot devices come in, like, a lot of things trickle down to,
Yeah,
like, him being like, "I need to basically kill Spider-Man to some degree, or at least kidnap him." But, like, all of these series of unfortunate events happen, and he finally figures out, like, Spider-Man is connected to these spiders that were in our labs that we don't have
yeah,
anymore or maybe don't have anymore, and we need to get him. I need his blood. He's clearly got, like, regenerative healing. He's super strong. He's super fast. He's got
yeah.
something that can make me better. I need to
Right,
get
right, right, right.
and so we contact who do you contact when you need Spider-Man? You know who I'd call? You.
Flash Thompson.
No, you're not Flash.
I,
You call your
I am
best friend,
Flash. Yeah, thanks, man.
right?
I'd call you too if I was looking for Spider-Man's blood.
You wouldn't have to look far because I probably would be him in this universe. But because Peter's taking pictures of him, right, it comes full circle like,
Yeah,
"Hey, Peter, you're taking pictures. You must know this guy," which was like a common trope in the first Spider-Man trilogies. "You must know Spider-Man. This
yeah.
Peter must know Spider-Man. Can you give me his blood?"
Yep, 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 yep. And I mean, Peter sets up a meeting between Harry and Spider-Man, knowing full well that he's like, I'm not gonna give this guy my blood. That's insane.
I did think it was interesting here, like, I thought that this could have had a little bit more of an emotional punch to it with, like, Harry kind of begging for it, and we, at this point, kind of feel bad for Harry in the movie, but when you picture
Mm,
him here where he's, like, the rich kid and he comes off really poorly, he's, like,
yeah,
drinking right in the morning, like, he can't figure his life
right.
out,
He
doesn't
comes
have
off
the same
just
emotional punch for me.
yeah, just comes off just as like a rich kid not getting his way.
Exactly, like, he's like, "What can I offer you to pay for this?" Like, it just comes off,
Yeah,
right, like, the rich kid that we all thought he would be, he is in this moment.
which kind of makes sense that he like defaults into that as like in like a time of need though. Like he's
I wanted
desperate.
a sliver, just like a sliver of him
Yeah,
at the end, like,
yeah,
begging
yeah.
and being like, "Human to human, help me out."
Also, is there any reason why Peter like can't just give him a little bit of blood just to see what happens?
First off, how many times are you loaning your blood out like that? Stop,
If
right?
I knew my blood was like a superpower, I don't know, my best friend,
Not even enough.
if you were dying and I had super blood, I would give you some of my blood.
First off, thank you. Love that for us. It's like, I think at this point, I don't know because agreed, it's later on in the film, I believe, where he finds out, like, the incompatibility, that the
Yeah,
spiders are connected to his genes and only really affect him. So only he could have
yeah,
become Spider-Man. So at this point in the film, he doesn't know that. There
right.
isn't a good reason to not give him spider abilities.
True, true, true.
So from this kind of downtrodden state, Harry gets desperate, right? He's kicked out of Oscorp. He's got no options with Spider-Man at this time through like a friendly negotiation. Time to play hardball. So he breaks out
Yeah,
Electro
yep.
from super jail,
Super jail, yeah.
super
Don't know how
electric
they're
jail.
keeping Electro in super jail, but they had
And
some kind
now
of
Harry learns martial arts somehow in these next 5 minutes
obviously he knows
and
martial
super
arts,
disguise.
dude. Yeah, he can take down armed security guards.
He could have been the next Bruce Wayne.
Oh my god, he could have. He had
Rich,
all the
martial arts, super disguise.
dead parents.
Oh, not just. I don't love that.
Well, come on. What am I supposed to jump to when you say next Bruce Wayne? Obviously, I'm going to jump there.
He broke into an asylum. That's what he does.
Good point. That too, dude.
But also, so I guess all of that put together, at Harry breaks into not Arkham and breaks out Electro, and they become
Yeah,
the new dynamic duo of Bat.
I would definitely call them that, and I have. Why does he also not like break out the Rhino or something? Like, why just one bad guy?
Right, like show up to Oscorp with an army.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, don't really understand it. But he shows
Yeah,
up with not an army,
yeah. He shows up just Electro. Electro challenges Spider-Man to this showdown at the power grid.
which is cinematically gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Such cool shots. Very cool graphics and effects going on here.
And the music is so good. Like the music in Times Square when he fights Electro the first time, now transformed
Mhm.
into the music that he fights Electro at the power grid, where it's all like these deep, bassy electric notes. Loved all, really set the scene perfectly.
It's like it was right in the rise of what's like the techno band that makes music just like in this.
You're talking about like dubstep?
Yeah, just like right in the rise of dubstep. They really nail.
You can't get that kid on the skateboard without some dubstep music.
Obviously, yeah, dude, it's perfect.
It was awesome. I love
Oh,
that whole fight. The whole thing was
yeah.
amazing.
And then the movie ends.
And everyone goes home happy, and Ben comes back.
Fantastic. He's done being president now.
Retired of being president, back to being grandpa.
Uncle. Now, unfortunately, while the movie could have ended there and would have been probably remembered a lot fondly, we have to shoehorn another villain into this. We get the conclusion to the Harry Osborn story where he shows up fully goblined out.
One less villain in Spider-Man 3. Does that make you feel better?
Uh,
Spider-Man
no,
3, 3 villains. Spider-Man 2, 2 villains.
Rhino, though, 3 villains.
3 villains. So that's the magic number or it goes bad.
Also, if we count Venom and Eddie Brock as 2 separate villains, Spider Man 3 had 4. What about Goth Peter? He's a villain.
You know, now I feel like they were exponentially growing in villains.
Let's stay on the Amazing Spider Man for a minute.
So
And
this is, again, what we're talking about, like literally just like picked up, placed in here, deliver plot.
yeah, literally, he's only there to kill Gwen Stacy.
It's it's sad but true. He literally
Like,
like he's only there. There is no. I don't feel an emotional payoff from like this Harry Peter thing. It didn't really get there for me. He's
mhm.
literally only there for the Gwen Stacy moment.
Yeah. Like, other than that, like, Peter stops him fairly easily without any, like, harm to himself. It's just like the
Yeah.
clock tower scene. Like, it was just, they wanted that comic book shot
Yes.
of Gwen
Completely agree with you.
falling. And yeah, that's the only reason they did it. And I don't know if at this time, like, they would already sunk and they knew that they weren't going to get a chance to make a third, or if they were trying to set up a third with this storyline and maybe get into Mary Jane into the third movie and they just had to move on from Gwen.
Yeah.
I don't
This
know
is more
what
like
caused this.
I agree because like it felt like they really set up for a third movie. We had
Mhm.
Sinister Six all over the place at the end of that
Yeah.
movie. The
There's
Rhino
a
was back on the
tease.
rise, and there is a lot to do comic book wise after Gwen died. It's not the end of like the
Yeah.
story, obviously.
Right. I think there's like a post-credit scene attached to it where like there's some mysterious man walking through Oscorp and he's just walking by like Doc Ock's arms
Yep.
and like a glider and some other like a scorpion suit, I think. So like
Do you know that in the comic books, after Gwen Stacy dies, is actually when Spider-Man goes on the hunt for Norman Osborn, and that's where the glider impales him?
really?
Yeah, so like it kind of comes full circle. It's like we end here, but at the
Yeah.
beginning of Spider-Man 1 is where we get the original
The
Green
Norman
Goblin
Osborn.
getting impaled by his own
Yeah.
glider. That's like the full circle moment.
Because Green Goblin is the one that kills Gwen Stacy, correct?
Yeah, I believe in a very similar way of where it's like it's his like he's the one who
Yeah.
attacked, but Peter's the one who
Right.
failed.
Right. Yeah. So that's kind of wraps up. They have a montage of obviously
Yeah,
Peter
Peter.
being devastated, as we are grown accustomed to, not being Spider Man anymore. There's a scene where Aunt May kind of talks him back a little bit.
Yep.
And so she starts talking about, she doesn't know he's Spider Man, but talking about, man, I really miss that Spider Man. Sounds like the city really needs him. And slowly he gets back. Well, not slowly. In the movie, it's slowly because they show a lot of different seasons, but
There's
like it's
so
really like
many.
it's like a 30-second montage. They really had to wrap up the movie, unfortunately,
It's the
which is a
exact
bummer
opposite
because
of what we
Andrew
saw.
Garfield's yeah. Like Andrew Garfield's such a good actor. Like they could have really leaned into these moments more of him being devastated and trying to work his way back from that.
Completely agree. Like that's why I think that a third Spider-Man movie from this franchise would have been perfect because give
Yeah.
Andrew the opportunity to walk us through grief and then
Hmm.
turn back into the symbol of hope as only
Right.
he could do, right? I would love to see
Yeah.
him take us through that journey.
And he talks in No Way Home. He talks about how like he got angry, he stopped pulling his punches on criminals. Like I'd love to see that darker version of him, even
Right?
like without like a Venom subplot. Like you can still do a storyline where Spider-Man goes a touch too far with these criminals and gets more
Absolutely right. Like,
brutal.
Spider-Man is another one where there's not as many of these superheroes we get to see their personal lives as much. Like, let's talk about Thor. Thor is always being Thor in all the movies. He's
Yeah.
always in superhero mode. Peter
Mhm.
Parker is a just kid for a lot of this, and
He's a
I'd love to
kid.
see a human deal with the emotions that a superhero had to deal.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, we were robbed of a scene where he does kind of show these emotions and helps him along the path. I think this would have been really good. I don't know why the directors cut this, but there's this deleted scene from the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Have you heard about this?
I've heard that there was a deleted scene. I've not seen it
Mm.
though.
So like you can find it on YouTube. It's not like super top secret hidden, but basically it's when Peter is in the graveyard at Gwen Stacy's grave. It shows like the seasons passing, so he's obviously there like every day. And then as he's standing there one day, he gets a spidey sense. Someone's walking up behind him and he turns around and it's his dad. Yeah. And his dad's like, I know I've been gone a long time. Let me explain. And you see like Peter go through like, he doesn't believe him. He's like, who are you? My dad's dead. You're not my dad. And he like grabs his dad, like, because he's threatening him. He's scared. He's like, who are you? He's dead. You're not real. And eventually like breaks down crying and like hugging each other. And then his dad gives him a version of the with great power comes great responsibility speech. So not
No.
only helping Spider-Man or helping Peter get back to being Spider-Man also really ties together that story we talked about of Peter discovering that like these spiders were genetically coded into his DNA.
Oh, I love that. And one less thing he's got in common with Harry now,
And Batman.
a live parent.
Yeah, live parrot. So it's so
That's
good.
awesome.
I highly recommend if you have not seen that scene, go check it out on YouTube. Just Amazing Spider-Man 2 deleted scene. You'll find it very easily. So good acting.
So, I mean, overall, to me, I think as we're going on this journey, these were better movies. Top to bottom, I enjoyed these more than most of the Tobey Maguire movies. I still think 2 holds a special place, but I really enjoyed these movies. The problem is, like, I haven't rewatched them much. And I think that Gwen Stacy dying and the darkness of Spider-Man 2 hurts the rewatchability of these movies.
Yeah, and knowing like that it literally is just like a shoehorn of the Green Goblin in there. Like they didn't need him to do that story. They could have done just the Electro stuff. Peter like coming to terms with his relationship with Gwen, figuring that all out would have been fine. You could have introduced Harry, sure, but like
I love Harry.
why would you jump it? Yeah, Harry's great. Shout out to Dane. So let's break it down. Give me your rankings of the 5 Spider-Man we have watched so far. I think we both agree that Spider-Man 2 top tier, elite, correct?
Going for promotion. That's for you soccer fans.
Thank you. Very good, dude.
I thought
I
you
needed
liked
that. What is next?
you're
'Cause
not going to agree with me with whatever I do. So I'm just going to,
I
I'm going to speak from my heart.
Yeah.
And thank you for your spider blood. I'm going TASM 2, TASM 1, Spidey 3, Spider 1.
Whoa. My God, dude, you got to stop. TASM 2 is the second best pre-Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Hey, not sorry about it.
That is a take for sure. Like, okay, it's so fun. It's such a fun movie.
I'm saying.
I get it.
Cool
But
action.
no.
Cool
Yeah.
music. Cool Spider-Man. Cool National Treasure background. What's not to
True.
like?
Green Goblin.
Okay, ignoring Goblin Disease and Goblin Child.
Goblin disease. Harry's
Right.
fine. Harry can be in this movie.
That's what I'm saying. Harry was a
don't
great
need Green
part of
Goblin.
the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I go Spider-Man 2, TASM 1,
Okay.
Spider-Man 1, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. Still the bottom.
Stop with Spider-Man.
Nobody likes Spider-Man 3.
Count me in as a lover of Spider-Man 3.
All right, guys, that is going to be it for today's
I can-
episode. Nope,
I'm not trying to interrupt
that's
you. dude.
it.
I've
That's
got a little
it.
bit.
That's
I've
it.
just got one more thing to say. Shout out, right? We received some shout outs this weekend. We'd like to reciprocate those shout outs. Shout out your mom, who's a
Yep,
big fan
shout
of the
out-
podcast.
shout out my
mom, big fan of the podcast.
Shout out your mom.
Shout out Scott. Scott recognized us from the podcast. Shout out. Thanks for the
Yep, shout out to Scott.
recognition.
Yep. And shout out to our mom's book club, like half our
Yep,
audience.
The book club.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for the follows.
All right, can I do my outro now? Are we good?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right, guys.
Shout out Scott again.
If you like this episode, make sure to let us know down below. Let us know if you have any thoughts on The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Do you agree with us? Are they highly underrated movies, or are you on the other side of the internet that you think these movies are trash?
Other side of the chasm from TASM.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let us know down in the comments below. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Do it.